And we're recording. Okay, so hi everybody. So welcome to tonight's class. So it's Essential Oils 101, using essential oils for health and well-being. And Carolyn and I are really pleased to see you here this evening. But first of all, I'll introduce myself. So I'm Susan Francis, and I'm a woman's empowerment coach, NLP practitioner, and a Reiki healer, and also a bit of an essential oils nut. And I work with women who are called to do business based on spiritual principles, and I help them to step up, own their gifts, and be the woman that they know that they have the potential to be, so that they can make a greater impact and help change the world one person at a time. And I use essential oils every day in my home, with my family, and also with my clients in my business. So what we're going to do this evening, I'm just going to take you through what we're going to do, and then hand over to Caroline, who will introduce herself and kick us off for tonight's class properly. So first of all, we're going to talk about what are essential oils, and then we're also going to introduce the company that Caroline and I both purchase our oils from, which is called doTERRA, and we're going to introduce you to them and explain to you why doTERRA and why we use doTERRA. Then we're going to talk about how you can use different ways that you can use essential oils. And then we will go through the top 10 essential oils and how to use those. And we're going to look at those from the aspect of health, natural health, and also emotional well-being. And then to finish up with, we're just going to give you a quick idea on how you can get these oils into your home, and how you can use them, start using them yourself if you don't already do so. So, Carolyn, I'll hand over to you now for you to introduce yourself and say hi to everybody.
So hi everyone, and thank you, Susan. Susan and I have worked together in various capacities for many years now, various different topics in various ways. So this is fun to be doing a webinar on the oils with you. So yeah, my name's Carolyn. I'm a naturopathic nutritionist and eating psychology coach, and I also work obviously with essential oils. By the way, that's my dishwasher you can hear in the background, if you can hear it. It sounds a little bit like a toilet flushing. It's not, it's the dishwasher. Yes, and I've been using essential oils for about 23 years now. And I used to use them, like most people, just putting a few drops in my bath, or burning them, with an oil burner that had a, candle underneath it and things like that. And I knew I liked them, and I knew that they helped to. Generally, I was using calming oils, or when I was pregnant, I'd rub the oils on my belly, and I knew that somehow it just felt very nice and uplifting. But until I met doTERRA oils, and you'll find out why as we go along in this class, and we should be about an hour, by the way, we'll try and keep it to a bit less. Then I realized how we can actually be using these as part of our everyday, lifestyle. Like you brush your teeth every day, you take your supplements probably every day. You can be using the oils for that. So whether it's preventative, but also, building up to build up your immune system, for example, or to create the emotions that you want for the day, and all of that. So that was a huge revelation to me after by then it was 21 years of use, to then discover how to use oils in a whole new way. And I use them, obviously, like Susan as well. I use them at home. We use them every single day. And I have two little girls, a 2-year-old and a 5-year-old. We use them on them every single day. And I bring them into my work with my clients, because I am completely into all things natural health, chemical-free living, and all of that. I have never come across anything as easy, accessible, and powerful as essential oils, okay, out of all the different modalities that I've used before. And so the reason I bring this into my work, as a nutritionist and behavioral eating coach, is really because as human beings, we have all these things that we want to change, and it can be very hard to actually make the change. And having tools on hand that can literally help you to, a shortcut or short circuit the habits that you've learned and things like that is extremely powerful. And so for me now, it's literally a must-have in my clients. So do you want me to just go ahead, Susan, and talk about what oils are and things like that?
Yes, please, Caroline.
So essential oils are basically the plant's immune system. They come from the rind of citrus fruits, or plants, bark, leaves, trees, the bark of trees. And basically it's all of these things in nature, they have essential oils within them. And that is what helps them to ward off bacteria, viruses, bugs, insects, and all that would threaten their livelihood, let's say, their life. And at the same time, they have something like pheromones in it that basically attract the birds and the bees and whatever else it is that they need to reproduce. This is how nature survives. This is how nature functions. It's through these scents, through these essential oils within them, that they are able to survive and to thrive. And so basically that is what you have in these little bottles, is the plant's condensed immune system. Not just immune system, but benefits. So we'll talk about the benefits of different oils as we go along. But that's basically what you have in there. That particular essence of that particular plant, is there to basically help us. And it said oils are 50 to 70 times more powerful than herbs. So, for example, 1 drop of peppermint here, literally 1 drop of peppermint, is the equivalent of 28 cups of peppermint tea. Okay, so that is how powerful they are. And we'll talk about how to use them because they are so powerful as well. And the great thing about essential oils that I find very exciting when it comes to a health point of view perspective is that, you've probably been to the doctor before where he said, okay, you've got a virus, we can't do anything about it, you've just got to sit it out at home. Because the medicine doesn't go into the cell because the particles are too small. Whereas essential oils, the particles are so small and they're 100% natural. So they assimilate, straight into the cell. They can actually literally go and work at the cellular level, which means at the center of the cell, not just floating about. Bacteria float about around the outside. Therefore, antibiotics can help it because they're on the outside. And so that's why it's so exciting. And then with regards to doTERRA, so as Susan mentioned a minute ago, the reason doTERRA is considered to be the #1 essential oils company in the world is because of their purity, their potency, and their testing. So I think doTERRA, as far as I know, latest knowledge, is the only oils company that has every single batch third-party tested. That means that it's not doTERRA sitting there saying, hey, we've got the purest oils in the world, because anyone can say that. It's actually third parties, laboratories that test the oils on many different levels, be it pesticides, herbicides, heavy metals, all of that. And so you can be sure that they are 100% pure. This is very important because whatever you put on your body or in your hair, around you basically, feeds every single cell of your body. And that is what creates your health. So if you're going to go and buy an essential oil in a shop, you can pretty much guarantee it, if it's definitely from a supermarket or a store like that they are either 100% synthetic, partly synthetic, or they have fillers in them, or they're not 100% pure. Okay? Because when you go into a shop, all of the oils are kind of the same price. It's impossible in the world because you have lemon groves. You grow loads of lemon groves and they're abundant and they're very easy. You just go and pluck the lemons or whatever it is in Sicily. Whereas frankincense, for example, comes from Somalia, where it takes about 5 months to be harvested and grown, and they have to go back and check it, and it's dangerous over there. And obviously, there's a lot of sort of fighting between I don't know what they're called, like different people who looks after different frankincense trees and things like that. And so, of course, the price is much higher, and it's very arid over there, and all of that. So that is reflected in the price of the product. So all that to say that makes a difference to the purity of the product. So that is one thing, testing and purity. The other one is potency. doTERRA, this is one thing that as a nutritionist, I love, because when they source their product where it naturally grows. So for example, like I said, the frankincense from Somalia, the lemon from Sicily. When you harvest a plant where it naturally grows, it means that it has the amount of sunlight and rainfall that it needs on any particular day, month, year, because it naturally grows in that habitat. So the whole environment is suited to that plant growing there. It's not like growing lavender in your garden in England and then lavender that comes from France or Bulgaria, for example. And so that's one thing, the potency, and obviously the soil quality as well, and all the nutrients in the soil are what that plant naturally needs to grow. That's why it naturally grew there in the first place. And so this really adds to the potency or the the quality of the plant material. It's like growing a baby, really. If you've got the really good conditions for it, it's going to be a much healthier baby. So that's one thing about the potency. Add to that the fact that doTERRA have something which is called co-impact sourcing. So they have local agreements with each of these local communities around the world, which guarantees their income. This is a massive deal because it means that they can wait, so they being the harvesters and the growers, until the plant is fully ready to be harvested. And for some of them, it literally means a particular time of day. I mean, I had no idea it went to that much detail. And so they can wait till the right moment, exactly the right moment to harvest them, because they have guaranteed income. Whereas before, what happened, or what happens with other companies who don't have these exclusive agreements, is that they will harvest it as soon as they possibly can, so that they can go to the highest bidder, basically, and make sure that they do sell their products. Bearing in mind that a lot of these countries are, third or second world countries. And so this really means that the plant material has been given the optimal environment and timing in which to grow. And this makes a massive difference to potency. This is why you only need 1 drop of oil compared to another oil, which is not as potent, not as pure, where you might need literally 5 or 6 drops, to have something close to the same effect. So that is really important as well. That's pretty much what I wanted to say in terms of why the oil that you use, from which company or from where it comes from, is very important to know, because this is really what is going to affect your health, whatever you're putting into your body. If you're putting an oil on your body that feeds your cells that has heavy metals in it, then obviously that's not going to be very good for your brain, your lymph glands or anything else like that. So this is why it's very important when you are doing something for your health and well-being to know from whence it came, basically.
Okay, so thanks, Caroline. So, and there are different ways to, as we said, we're going to talk about different ways to use essential oils, and there are a number of different ways. And one of those ways is aromatically, and as you saw Caroline demonstrated earlier, she put a drop in her hand and she took a breath and breathed in the oils. Yeah. So yeah, you can breathe them in either, as I say, by placing them directly there and breathing them in. You can breathe them in to take a breath straight from the bottle. I very often do that myself with some of the oils, just take a quick hit on the bottle with a quick breathe in.
No one's looking.
Yeah. Or you can use something like a diffuser, a water-based diffuser. So it's got, and we only recommend using water-based diffusers where you've got a certain amount of water in there and you put a couple of drops of oil or a drop of your favourite oils, or you can mix sort of 1 or 2 different oils together, whatever blends that you prefer, depending on, again, what it is that you want those for, and you can diffuse that into the room. And because it's a water-based diffuser, all of those oils and the particles just diffuse around the room, and you're able to breathe those in, and they settle on your body, etc. So you can take the oils in that way. Another way is topically. So you saw Caroline popped it on her hand earlier, but you can place oils on a number of places on the body. If you place them on the soles of your feet, for example, that's the fastest way to get the oils into your system. I think they say it's about 30 seconds, isn't it, Carolyn, when you put oils on the soles of your feet, that's the fastest one. Within 30 seconds, oils that you place on the soles of your feet have actually gone through and are in every cell within your body. I often put oils on my wrists and breathe them in from there, but also rub them in, and then I might sort of put the excess around my neck. You can place oils on the back of your neck, so just in the little dip there at the back of your neck, which is the base of your brain stem. So when you place oils there, again, it can go directly into your system and into your brain. And there's a lot of the oils, will come to some of those as we go through the different oils later on, that again can really help with with the brain as well. And there are different places you can also it's quite funny actually, on the top of your big toe, on your right foot, if you place oils on the big toe on your right foot, that's actually really good for breaking addiction. So if you've got sort of any addictive patterns and behaviours and stuff like that, something you might want to that might be working on, if you place oils on your big toe on your right foot, then that helps with addiction. So there's lots of different places, and also directly on the area. So if you've got something, you've got a problem area, and again we'll sort of look at those different oils as we go through the specific oils for specific things, you can put the oils directly on the area. So for example, you might rub them directly on your tummy for a tummy ache, or you might rub them, if you've got aches and pains, you might rub them directly on that. So depending on which oil you're using and what you're using it for, you can put it directly on that area. But we always say, if you don't know where to put it on the soles of your feet, because it will get through to wherever it needs to go to anyway. And the other way is internally. So some of the oils, not all of the oils, are recommended for taking internally, and it does sort of display on each of the bottles. You've got different instructions, and those that are fit for internal use, it will say can be used internally, which means you can either, again, take a drop directly from the bottle. Sometimes, because they are so potent though, sometimes that can be a bit difficult. You get a little bit more than you bargained for with some of the oils, but you could take a drop directly from the bottle, or you could place some, say, on your thumb and pop your thumb into your mouth. You can also put a drop in water. So, for example, the lemon or peppermint, some of the citrus oils, you would put, there you go, a drop in a glass of water, and you can take the oils that way. You can also get empty capsules. They're veggie capsules, and you can put drops and make your own capsules up and take oils internally that way as well. So I think that covers all the different ways that you can actually use and take oils. What I want to do as well is talk about some of the benefits, some of the emotional benefits of when you use these oils as well. So that as we go on in a moment through the individual oils, I'll talk about the individual emotional benefits of the oils. But when you're taking oils aromatically, smelling an essential oil, it brings our head and our hearts back together. So it connects your head back with your heart. So, for example, if you find that you've got a lot of chatter going off in your head, and you're getting distracted by things, and you find that you've got a lot of sort of negative self-talk going on, when you when you smell the essential oils, the aroma actually connects your brain back into your heart, and they have completely a holistic they work completely holistically, so the entire body is affected. When you breathe in essential oils, your entire body is actually affected by what you're breathing in. So that means your emotions and your physical, everything's affected, and it works in both ways. So it will work for dealing with a physical ailment or something that you're using it for physically, but it will also get to the root of an emotion as well underneath that at the same time.
Can I interrupt just with one really interesting thing that I heard the other day? Is that and just as you were explaining, when you breathe in the essential oils, that's the quickest way of affecting the emotions. But also, like you just said, it affects the physical, because when you breathe in, obviously it goes to the lungs. And I just found out the other day, apparently the lungs has the most amount of receptor sites on it, or something like that, which basically means that the lungs are the biggest absorbing organ. So they'll really take in a lot of them. I just thought that was a bit of science.
Yeah. That's great, but the aroma actually activates our senses as well, so creates a deeper awareness. So often, if we've got something that's causing us a physical pain, or it's showing up physically in our body, underneath that there will be an emotion very often. And so therefore, when you're using the oils on a physical ailment, it will actually activate the senses, bring a deeper sense of awareness within the cells as well, and it will start to work on the emotional aspect of what's also causing at the root of that, because a lot of physical stuff actually has an emotional, physical stuff that shows up in your body actually is deep rooted in emotion. So it's working from both angles when you're using them. So for example, it can help release pain and trauma from trapped emotions. So for example, it could be, say, a trapped neck, or a trapped nerve or something like that, and underneath that there's actually emotion that's building up in stress. We can get very tense in our shoulders, for example, and often that's caused by emotion that's actually making your muscles tense up, and you've got trapped pain and that sort of thing. So when you're using the oils on those places, you're actually looking and working on the emotional stuff that's causing that pain and trauma to be trapped within the body. We can also use oils. I use oils a lot when I'm sort of journaling, meditating, that sort of thing, to really help connect the head, the heart and the soul, and to actually help me to get out of my head and more into my body and my emotions and my feelings, and also to help release some feelings of things that might be bothering me and actually keeping my head really busy and affecting meditation and that sort of thing. But because every thought that we have and every feeling has its own chemical structure and its own chemical signature that works throughout the body. So, and it also affects all of our organs. So when we're using them for emotional reasons, it's also releasing and helping all of the organs that are attached to any of those emotions. And so what happens is, because every thought and every feeling that we have has its own chemical signature that's working through the body, essential oils aid our naturally cycling emotions. So if you're releasing a certain emotion, or you're using an oil for an emotional reason, and to help you on an emotional level, what happens is that's actually helping your emotions to process and to release themselves from the body, and enabling the natural emotional processing cycle to take place. Okay, so the other thing I wanted to say, when we're using essential oils emotionally, we're not using the oils to mask the emotion or to suppress the emotion. We're actually using it to break down, go into the cells and go into the emotions and help to release what's stuck there, rather than using them as a band-aid or to kind of mask it and to make it go away so we're not feeling it. It's to bring it up and out and to release it. And so often it will come up and come out, and we don't want to be. But essential oils won't be. They're not used to be masking any symptoms or stopping you from feeling something. It's to help release that. So I just wanted to say that as well. So that's about using essential oils. Shall we look now about introducing those top 10 oils, Caroline?
Yep, let's do that. So the first one is frankincense. And actually, have you got your bottles? Because I've only got.
I've got my bottle of frankincense here. It's well used, and you can see how much I use. I've got a couple of backup bottles, I tell you.
I've always got those ones, yeah, exactly, on standby. And that's one of the pricier ones. It's for a reason. It's called the oil of kings. And I put a drop under my tongue every single morning for cellular health. So your cells need to regenerate in a healthy way, otherwise it can lead to illness. We need to use compliant language here, so I can't tell you exactly. Read between the lines when you have illnesses to do with cells, basically. It helps to support that. It's also fantastic for the skin. So anything to do with fine lines, wrinkles. It's helped a ton with my brown pregnancy mask, whatever it's called.
Yeah.
So it's a fantastic one for immunity and cellular health. So anything to do with brain and anything like that as well. And this is a really interesting one with the emotional benefits, which I'll hand over to Susan for, and why it's actually a firm favorite for many, many people. It's really a beautiful oil to have, and literally a must-have daily oil, isn't it?
It is, yeah. And just further on what you said, I use frankincense every day around the base of my eyes, and for getting a little bit older now, so I'm getting a few little brown spots, which have been diminishing from using frankincense. So it is really good for cellular renewal, for skin renewal, and using. It's also really good for using on scar tissue as well. Reduces fine lines and scarring, or helps to do that. But from an emotional benefit, frankincense is known as the king of oils and the oil of truth. So it helps us to connect with our inner spirit, and it helps to improve our attitude and connect with our intuition. And it also works to help heal the inner child. So it's a booster oil as well. When you've got an oil that's a booster oil, it means if you put frankincense on top of another oil, it really boosts and increases the effect of the original oil that you've used. So very often, because the good thing about these oils is you can actually layer them on. So use one oil, then put another oil on top of it. And frankincense is known as a booster oil, but it helps release any low vibrations and negativity. And it also helps us to connect with new perspectives. So I really use this. I use this a lot when I'm meditating as well. I often put a drop, because if you can put a drop right on the top of your crown and go into your crown chakra, and that helps with meditation. And I often put a drop on the third eye as well when I meditate, and use it for that. So because it really opens up the spiritual channels and helps with connecting to self. So that's lavender for you.
Frankincense.
Oh, sorry, frankincense. I was just about to say the next one's lavender.
So the next one's lavender, and lavender we use a lot. We diffuse it most nights, actually, in our room. We've got a diffuser in every room. Sounds like I've got a massive house, but I mean in the living room and in both bedrooms. And we'll diffuse it most nights. We use it a lot, obviously, for calming. You know, everyone knows that lavender is good for calming. It's also fantastic for any burns or any scrapes. So because we have 2 little girls who are very active, when they fall over and cut themselves, we'll put melaleuca, which is tea tree, on it, and then lavender to help to calm the area and inflammation and things like that. So it's also very good, or like bug bites, itchy skin, eczema, you know, anything skin related basically that is bothering you, lavender is the one to use. It's also very good for hair, but mainly the emotion of calming the skin, basically anything that needs to be calm. How else can I put it? Everyone knows that about lavender.
Yeah, I mean, I recently used, I did a trip in the jungle last year, and while I was there, I got a burn on my hand from scalding water went on to me from one of those an urn thing, and it spilt boiling water on me, and literally instantly I put lavender on it, and it calmed it down straight away, took away any redness, and and soothed that straight away. But lavender is the oil of communication, and it's known as the mother of oils. So it encourages honest communication, and it helps you to express your true self. So again, it's, as Carolyn said, it's very calming and soothing. So within that, it helps to relieve any anxiety, helps with stress, anger, fear, and any of those sort of negative type emotions. It can help really calm those emotions down. And also, if you're struggling with speaking your truth, or speaking up, or having your own voice, then it can really help with helping you to be seen and be heard. So if you've got things with boundary issues, if we often get stuck with being able to say no sometimes, and not being able to say no. And actually, when you're feeling like if you might be feeling like you're constantly being put upon, and you want to say no but feel like you can't, lavender is a really good oil to help you to actually release that and get this, and give you the strength to be able to, and the calm, calmness, and the ability to be able to speak your truth and say no, which I think sometimes we need to do a lot more. So that's lavender. So the next one's peppermint.
Next one's peppermint. So I showed you already, just 3 deep breaths. It's a great one to take. It's very good for focus and awakening. So if you're trying to cut down on coffee, for example, you can put it in your hands, inhale it, and then what you can do is put the rest on the back of your neck. If it's normal that it gives you a cold tingling sensation, you can just put coconut oil on the top of that if it's too much for you. I actually happen to love it, so I leave it. But it is super effective if you need to pick me up. With our 2 little girls who don't always sleep through the night, I'm often tired, I will use it in the morning, and I'll use it after lunch as well. And for focus. So I know, Susan, you're diffusing it right now, aren't you?
Yes.
Yeah, for focus.
A nice focus boost, because it's evening time, and put some peppermint in the diffuser
to help me wake up just in case.
Yeah,
it's 8:30 over here.
Yeah.
Anyway, so yes, but you can put that in the diffuser to help you with focus. But otherwise, it's also great for digestion. You can rub it on your belly, but it has that real fresh, uplifting smell. I sometimes peppermint can be way too strong, but this is really soft somehow. And it's also fantastic for depression, for really low moods, because it's just so uplifting, really. I look forward to hearing what you have to say about the emotional side, Susan.
Yeah, well, having said that, it is the oil of the buoyant heart. So yes,
Oh,
leading straight on from there, it brings joy, buoyancy to the heart and soul. It can invigorate the mind and spirit, because it really is an uplifting. It does. A whiff of peppermint really kind of wakes you up and brings you back to self. So you know, if you're feeling disheartened, I mean, basically what it does is it stimulates the brain, so it increases mood and brain function, but it's also calming and soothing. So it also helps to relieve, like if you're feeling quite restless and unable to, you know, unable to focus, you've got a lot going on, you can use peppermint, and it brings in the focus, but it also sort of heightens thoughts, but it helps to clear the mental chatter away. So it can help you to focus in on what it is that you need to do, or focus in on one thing and clear away all of the other negative stuff. So it's also good for bringing in perspective, for helping to get into perspective. So that's peppermint for you, and a good one again, dropping in a drop of water, and to drink that is really good boost there.
And talking about water, what I put in my water every single morning is a drop of lemon, because lemon oil, you know, you might have been doing this already, or at least have heard that squeezing lemon juice into a glass of warm water is very good first thing in the morning to help your body to cleanse and to detox. It's also alkalizing for the body. So you have acid alkaline base. When the body is very acidic, which most of our modern lives lead to an acidic state in the body, that is what leads to greater illness. Illness can only exist in an acidic state. Lemon basically helps to bring that back. So 1 drop of lemon is like the juice of about, I've heard, 5 to 7 lemons. But it will not be fuzzy on your teeth or anything like that, because it comes from just the rind, okay? So it won't be bad for your teeth or anything like that, just like lemon juice can be a little bit harsh. So basically lemon as well, very good for focus, for uplifting, because it's citrus. But the best thing is really to put it, I use it in my cooking as well, because I never have lemons at home, and when recipes need lemon. But otherwise, this is one of those big IKEA glasses. I'll put 1 drop in here in the morning, and then maybe once more throughout the day. You don't need to take a ton to have the same effect. You know, less is more. And so you literally do that, you know, a couple of times a day, or if you have a liter bottle of water, just put a couple of drops in, sip that throughout the day to basically just help your body to cleanse, and helps your metabolism as well.
It also cleanses and purifies, doesn't it? So you can use it for cleaning as well with lemon. So yes, so you can use it around the house for cleaning surfaces. Sort of a drop of lemon on a cloth with some water.
Anything sticky. Anything sticky.
Okay, but it's the oil of focus. So from an emotional point of view, it's the oil of focus, and its major effect is on the mental field. It also helps to restore confidence. Again, it's another uplifting mood and focus, but it can really help to bring you back into the now. Again, if you've got mental chatter going on, it can bring you back. Using lemon can bring you back to the present. Again, with it's a cleansing oil, so you can use it physically for cleansing, but also it can cleanse the mind and help to dispel any confusion, so it brings clarity. So especially if you've got, say, for example, children struggling at school, lemon can really help with bringing in focus and giving them some clarity, and helping them to kind of stay in the moment and help them with their restore their energy, and also mental flexibility. So anybody that, if you've got children and they're struggling at school and keeping focused in lessons, that sort of thing, then lemon is really good for that.
I'd just like to relate actually what you said back to the body, because obviously we're talking about the physical side and then the emotional side, but really, like you mentioned in the beginning, everything is very linked, and it makes complete sense that lemon is the oil of cleansing. So 70% of your immune system is housed in your gut. 90% of your serotonin is produced in the gut. Serotonin is one of those so-called happy hormones, one of the neurotransmitters, which is now being recognized as a hormone, but anyway, neurotransmitter that helps to create happiness, within your being. And so when you help to cleanse your body, when you have a clogged gut, and it's all clogged up, whether you have constipation or not, that's not really it, but just food is not being digested properly. We eat too quickly. We don't always eat the right foods. We eat in a stressed state, so our bodies cannot digest and assimilate the food properly. So invariably, for most of us, all of us, your gut is going to be compromised in some certain way. So when you're taking a drop of lemon and it's helping to cleanse your body, of course it's helping to cleanse the mind, because if 90% of your serotonin is in the gut, if your gut is clogged, it cannot send those messages, okay? And there's kind of a second brain in your gut that is actually scientifically, it's not just me saying that's what it is, it's a scientific knowledge about the gut. And so the more you can help to cleanse that and to clear it and to facilitate the communication between the gut, the heart, and the brain, obviously the better the messages are going to go through. So the better your focus, the better your moods. So this is how we're relating really the physical and the emotional side of the oils. And then the next one actually follows on very well from what you said, Susan, on, which is Melaleuca, which is otherwise known as tea tree. And this is a fantastic oil for anything. It's antibacterial, antiseptic. So, cleaning in the house, or if you cut your skin, you can use it straight on there. It won't sting or anything like that to help to clean the area. Great for anything that is, respiratory issues. What else in terms of body? I mean, obviously, we've got a spray for anti-head lice spray that we put on our girls. But anything...
This helps with the immune system as well, doesn't it?
And
so healthy immune system.
It's one of the best ones to use for that. And that leads on perfectly to, I guess, the emotions that you're about to...
Yeah, because this is the oil of energetic boundaries. So again, it's very cleansing. It can be used to help break negative patterns, interrupt any patterns, negative self-talk. It helps to cleanse attachments to people, thoughts, patterns, circumstances. It will help those energetic boundaries, and it will help to cleanse those and help to eliminate any of the emotional baggage that can come with those. It also helps with overwhelm. So if you're feeling overwhelmed, just a drop of this. So whether you breathe it in, use it on your skin, use it on your wrists and take a breath in, or just pop a drop. Very often with some of the oils, if I want to get them quickly, I'll just pop a drop on the top of my finger and put it on the roof of my mouth so that it circulates really quickly. But yes, where are we? Again, it helps break negative ties to people and situations. This is another one for boundaries. So if you're not very good at saying no, Melaleuca again can help with clearing out kind of the emotional ties in, the emotional blackmail that sometimes comes with that, when you don't want to say no to somebody or put your foot down, or then using this oil can really help you to cleanse those boundaries and keep those boundaries.
And that's literally like the master oil for anything to do with boundaries. And it makes complete sense, because when we again look back at the physical side, that it helps to boost the immune system, it's antibacterial, it helps to clean, everything around and protect you basically. And really, on an energetic level, people who, or on physical level, people who do have issues with immune system, or who are sensitive and have issues with boundaries and things like that, these, are often people who are highlighting things that are wrong in society. Like they're super susceptible or sensitive to seeing what is wrong. There's a feeling, there's something that's not going quite right for them. And so that also translates in them being sensitive of health. And so this is why, it makes complete sense. Again, the physical protection of your immune system, of your gut, the stronger you are in your body, the stronger you can actually step out with confidence in the world. And with vigor and all of that. So this is why your immunity, and then your immunity reflects your emotional immunity as well in that respect. And so the next oil, oregano, is not one that you want to put straight in your mouth, because it's one of the hot oils. You want to dilute it. This one is it's a natural antibiotic basically. So we use it rarely. We do use it in cooking sometimes, but it's very strong. But we use this one. You can use it for cleaning, honestly. I tried it once. I didn't like it. My whole house smelled of oregano. But whenever there are bigger threats around, so lots of people getting flus, or, lots of kids sick at school, or, you or me or Dominica feel like we're getting down with something and you just don't want to be sick when you've got kids. That's one of my go-tos to put on the soles of the feet, and then pop your socks on. You put it on the soles of your feet, dilute it with coconut oil, and then pop your socks on. That will really, really help to give your immune system a massive boost. So you don't want to use it every day, but definitely when there is a bigger threat around.
I mean, just leading off that, because oregano is actually one of my favourite oils, and I actually use it quite a lot. And I even diffuse this because it is very cleansing, and because it's a natural you know, it is very cleansing. So I do. So for example, this, I mean, just as a little example of using that for diffusing it, I did this New Year's Eve. I did my own little New Year's rituals, and oregano was one of the things that I diffused as part of that to cleanse out, along with things like frankincense and that sort of thing. But oregano was actually one of the things that I used to literally help to let go of the old year and to bring in the new. It was a kind of cleansing, and on the 1st of January, literally everywhere was cleansed out with and diffused with oregano.
Made me laugh because Agatha wrote a thing saying no more onions in socks. We've known each other for years, and I used to do that years ago, you know, for coughs and colds.
Yeah.
And this is not sad.
But talking about coughs and colds, I mean, we've already spoken about some of the oils, but and I said earlier that you can, one of the ways to take them is to make up your own gel capsules. And what I do is, when I can feel a cold coming on or something coming on, is use a combination within a gel capsule of a drop of oregano, a drop of lemon, a drop of melaleuca, and a drop of On Guard, which is another oil that an oil blend that we're going to talk about next, actually. And that really helps to stave off any kind of colds and coughs and colds and that sort of thing that you might be coming down with. So I use that regularly for that. But it's also, this is called the oil of humility and non-attachment, and it is a really, really powerful oil. It is a hot oil, so if you are going to put it on your body, yeah, it is usually recommended to dilute it down with coconut oil. And another good place to put it is on the very top on the crown of your head, just one drop on there. This oil gives perspective, and it quietens the ego, so it really can help you to see the bigger picture and see the things that need to change, which is again why I used it when I was doing my New Year's Eve rituals, for example, because it helped to say, right, we're clearing out the old, what do I want, what do we want to change for the future, what do I want the new year to bring, and that sort of thing, because it can help you to really see the bigger picture and get some clarity on there. And it also helps to create a calmer approach to difficult situations. So using oregano, because it is so cleansing and also protective at the same time, it can really help you to, when you're dealing with difficult situations, again, drop on the top of the head or on the soles of the feet, just to give you that kind of grounding and balance there as well. It can help you be more open-minded and can help to remove blocks and clear out negativity, so you can see exactly what it is that you want and what you need. So and it also helps to break some negative patterns and help you to be to break the attachment, so it helps to promote non-attachment. But it is one of my favourite oils, and I do actually use it a lot, even though then I smell like I'm cooking a Sunday roast all the time. But it's lovely, and I really like the smell of it, because it smells very homely to me, and yeah, so that one's oregano.
I've just looked at the time. I don't think we're going to have time to go through all 4 of the next ones. Should we just choose 2?
Yeah, so how about we go do On Guard and probably Breathe, yeah?
Yeah, or Zengest.
Okay. Or Zengest, yeah, that's it. You choose.
Okay,
On Guard first.
On Guard is on your guard. Basically, it's the immune system blend. It's a blend. It's not a single oil. It has various different oils in it. Absolutely amazing. This is the one that we use to clean the house. So we'll use On Guard, water, and white vinegar. So easy, literally the whole house, the kitchen, the bathroom, everything. This is just what we use. It is just as effective as all of the chemical things that you buy in the shops, minus the chemicals. So, it's not damaging your health, your hormones, or anything like that in any shape or form. We use it also, we put it pretty much every single day on the soles of our feet or along the spine for immune support. So I'll put it on my girls and on me. I've been using these doTERRA oils for 2 years now, actually 2 years to the month, basically. I haven't had a cold in 2 years. Our girls, who are 2 and 5, bearing in mind they go to childcare. Milo, we looked, the 5-year-old only had 5 days off sick of childcare the whole of last year. The 2-year-old had 1 cold last year that lasted maybe 4 days or something like that. And she wasn't snotty with it or anything. She was just a little bit bunged up. So, Yeah, for us, it's our immune system lifesaver. We just absolutely love it. And it smells like Christmas. It's delicious. But that is the immune one. And it also, I know this is the emotional side, but I'll mention it here. If you are someone who is very sensitive to energies and things like that, if our 2-year-old, for example, is having nightmares, sometimes she'll wake up and, see someone in the room or whatever it is, we'll put On Guard, and it helps to clean the room and the area in that respect. So it's very good for clearing if you are someone who does feel and see other energies.
Yeah, and it is the oil of protection. So it helps protect your energy, your boundaries. It's really grounding, helps you to release any negative patterns, ways of thinking, strengthens your immune system, which also, when you're strengthening your immune system, as we said, as Caroline said earlier, when you strengthen your immune system, that then strengthens your inner self and your emotional system, as well as the physical system. And so therefore it really can help you to connect with yourself, and give you and strengthen you, help you to strengthen you emotionally as well. And it also encourages you to stand up for what you believe in. So that's On Guard, the oil of protection.
Do you want me to talk about breathe or digest zen?
It's up to you. Which one would you like to choose?
Digest zen, if possible, because I think this one's really interesting compared, when we look at the emotional side as well. So digest zen, or Zengest, we'll change the name, is the oil of zenful digestion, funnily enough. Again, an oil blend, so there are various oils in it. You can just rub it literally on your belly, anything digestive, constipation, diarrhea, food poisoning, too much greasy food, overeating, bloating, whatever it is. You just rub it on your belly. If it's hardcore, so if you've got food poisoning and you're vomiting and everything else, you can literally put a drop under your tongue. That is the quickest way basically into your bloodstream. And otherwise you can pop a drop in some water and drink that. This is one of the oils that I've heard the most amazing stories, and consistently stories of people with massive digestive issues who have had a lot of support with this particular blend. Another good way to do it is if you are completely bunged up and you have pain around here, and there's so much mucus that you are not clearing it, you can use it to digest the mucus. That was one of our best ever discoveries, especially with our kids, when the little one, she can't blow her nose. So obviously I'm not going to put it on her in the daytime so that she rubs it and then goes in her eyes. But when she's asleep, I can dab a tiny, tiny bit diluted on her nose here, and it will help to digest that mucus for her that is completely stuck, that she can't blow out. So, or on the reflex points on the feet, it's great to use the oils. So I could use the respiratory blend, breathe, but I can also use the digestive blend. This one, Digest Zen or Zengest, at the same time on the toes to help to digest the mucus. That's like one of the best tips I can ever give you.
Okay, so it's the oil of digestion. It helps with being in flow, letting go. If you have a tendency to take on too much at once, it can help you to actually digest your thoughts, as well as as Caroline said, with the stomach, you've got the gut brain, but that can also help you to digest your thoughts and to work through your thoughts and let go and be in flow with what's going on for you. It also increases, because of that, it increases your ability to take on board new information, because it literally will help you to get rid of the stuff that's kind of clogging up your head that you don't need to be hanging around there, and help you to be in flow and allow in new information. It also helps you to see new possibilities, and it can help you to create enthusiasm. So it's a great one for use as well, for motivation, that sort of thing. And when you feel like you just need a bit of a pick me up to help you to stay motivated as well. And it's really good if you struggle with procrastination. So if you've got stuff that you need to do and you're procrastinating, this oil can really help you to let those go, because it's got ginger, fennel, peppermint in it, so that helps with empowerment and procrastination and that sort of thing. So all of those things blended together not only helps with your physical digestion, but digesting all those emotions and letting go and being able to take on board new information. So that's digesting.
Yeah, and there was something that you had said, because I love what you said earlier on, because obviously, we do hold emotions in our gut. Your stomach will get, when you're nervous before an exam, you might feel like you're going to get diarrhea or something like that, or you've got butterflies in your stomach. So it really helps you to digest and process the emotions of life, so which we physically feel in our gut, and trusting your gut feeling. So I love that.
Yeah.
that you shared that. That's brilliant.
Brilliant. So, do you want to tell people how we can get these oils into their home?
Yes. So basically, there are 3 ways to get these oils into your home. One is buying retail, full price, just like you would buy anything else online. And Susan can send you a link for that afterwards. The second way is to open a wholesale account. And what this does is it gives you 25% off for an entire year. So you literally pay it once, or if you're buying a kit, which I'll explain about in a minute, it is valid the entire year. There's no obligation for you to ever buy anything again. Even if it's just that once, you literally get that 25% off. And then the third way is to join what is called the Loyalty Reward Club, where you basically get points back. It's like air miles. When you fly with a certain company, you get points back for every flight that you buy. Same with doTERRA. When you buy products and oils, then you'll get certain points back that you can then redeem against products. And it is honestly the most generous reward program I have ever heard of. You start off getting 10% back, and that works its way up to 30%. But I don't want to go into detail about that right now. There is a link, actually, Susan.
Yeah,
if
I'll
you
just
put it in here. So basically what you want to do, if you already know that you want these oils, the oils that we spoke about today are part of a kit. So it's 10 oils, a kit called the Home Essentials Kit. Do you have a diffuser close to hand that you can show? And it comes with a diffuser.
1 second.
I forgot to say that in the beginning. When it comes with a diffuser, which is one way you're definitely going to want to use your oils 100%. So it's the 10 oils and it comes with a diffuser. That is the most popular starter kit. There is another starter kit, which I will mention, called the Natural Solutions Kit, which is much bigger. You have some emotions oils in there. You have supplements in there. You have shampoo, face cream, hand soap. You've got all of these things in there. If you are someone who wants to get rid in one fell swoop, literally in one fell swoop, of all of the chemicals in your home, for your hair, your skin, your body, you've got hormone oils. You've got literally an oil for everything in there, pretty much everything. So what you want to do is you want to go back, because we realize it's not just Susan or I who have invited people to this webinar. So whoever invited you to this webinar, please go back to them, when to discuss which kit you want to get or how you can get your kit. And if you were invited by myself or by Susan, there's a link here that we've put to the right hand side. You can click on that, and it basically asks you for your information, your address and things like that, so that we can help you set up your wholesale account. If you know already which kit you want, that you want this kit that we spoke about, which is honestly the best starter kit, or the Natural Solutions, go ahead and tick that box. If you don't know, you can still fill out that form and then we'll be in touch with you to help you decide what you need, what your requirements are, what your needs are, and actually which kit would best suit your needs and obviously at the best price for you as well. And then, we'll be in touch with you after the webinar as well, just to follow up. But if you have any questions right now, we really wanted to keep it to 1 hour. So I think we're being very good on time here. If you've got any questions now, feel free to pop them in the chat box on the right-hand side.
Yeah, I've popped the link in there for the registration form.
And I'll just tell you the prices. So in UK, hang on, where is it? I've just got the UK prices. This is an international call, obviously. So we've got various people. So the Home Essentials Kit that I mentioned, that one is £222, VAT included. And if you're going to buy that retail, so without the 25% off, it would be £296, VAT included. Okay. And then on the form that we've sent you on the right-hand side here, you will see the price, and it is VAT excluded. And then you can just add on whatever your VAT is. I can guarantee it's lower than what we have in Denmark, which is 25%. I think we've got one of the highest VAT rates. And your oils will get sent either from the UK or from the Netherlands, depending where in Europe you are. And you'll literally normally receive them within about 4 days. There's a Christmas delay at the moment, so it can be longer than that. Now, before I forget, is the 11th until the 15th of this month, there is a special offer, which is, you can see, I don't need any, can you see the link above what you just wrote, Agatha? There should be a Google form there. And if you guys can't see, okay, it looks like other people can't see the form.
Okay,
we'll send it to you, or
it's
maybe you
to
can
all
send it out
panelists.
from Eventbrite.
Let me pop it in again. It did say it was.
With the frankincense, you basically get an extra bottle of frankincense for free when you order your kit before the 15th. Now, the frankincense is worth, what is it? I think it's about 100 euros normally. So let me just get the UK price for you. And you're getting that absolutely free when you buy a kit up until the 15th.
The link's showing now.
Frankincense is £96, including VAT retail, or £57 wholesale. So you're basically getting that free, which is about a quarter of the price of the kit. You know, and your kit comes with a diffuser and 10 oils, and this is just one other oil because it's one of the priciest ones. So that is until the 15th. And I guess you got it now. Good. Thanks for letting us know about that. Chamomile, yes, we use it. Definitely. I use that a lot with my girls, and for, you know, I love chamomile anyway in all shapes and sizes and forms. So that is a lovely one to have. And that one was actually out of stock for a while because with doTERRA, because they source things locally where they naturally grow, and they are extremely strict on the purity. Sometimes some of the oils, rarely, but sometimes they will kind of go out of stock for a while and then they'll come back in until they can get them. Yeah, so we use that one for anything calming. So I'll use it, you know, for nighttime or for daytime, for anxiety release or anything like that. The same way you would use lavender, for example. I mean, there's other ways of using them. I don't have the books here right now, but it's a really beautiful one to use. I love the smell of it. Put it over the heart area or on the soles of the feet or something like that.
Yep. Okay, so
Great.
I think that's it. Okay, so I can't see any more questions coming through. I think you've answered those. We've answered those that are there.
Yeah.
And the link's there for anybody that wants to purchase the kit. Or, as you said, if not, go back to whoever introduced you to tonight's call, and we'll be in touch afterwards. I will be sending out the link for the recording as soon as it takes a few moments when the call's finished, and when it finishes recording, for that to download, and then I will pop a link so that if you want to watch back on anything, you can do. That will come through in an email via Eventbrite from the registration. Everybody registered will get that link.
And I just want to add to that as well, that once you have your kit, it's not just you've got your kit and you don't know what to do with it. You know, you're spending a considerable amount of money on it. We want you to be able to use it. So we have a wellness consult with you. We have a Facebook group, which is extremely active, where we do frequent ongoing education on different oils, how to use them, tips. You can ask your questions. We're a very active community where you will basically have ongoing support, because the way we see it, you know, these oils are not just a one-off that you use when you need it, you know, when there's a physical thing that comes up. This is really something that is part of a lifestyle change. You know, this is really, essential oils is the fastest growing area in natural health, and for good reason. You know, they're even using it in hospitals in the US now. And so this is really something that you want to start implementing into your daily life to improve your health. You know, the Danish word is coming to mind, to create better health for the future, but also to create the emotion that you want here today. If you're lacking an emotion that you want to create, you use the oils to help you create that. If you've got an emotion, you want to keep that high vibration and that high mood, then you use the oils to help maintain that. So it's really something that you use as a tool every day. And yeah, so we'll have all of that support there. You've got a question from Agatha. Shower in it, Agatha.
You could use it on the soles of the feet. I would also use it, probably I would use it on the throat area, especially when you're looking to kind of speak your truth and use your voice. I would use it, just sort of rub some of the oils into the throat area and over the heart as well, because then that way you're connecting your voice to your heart and to your truth. So yeah, on the throat area and over the heart and chest area, because we very often, it kind of gets, when we're struggling to say no, or we're struggling to speak something that we need to, it gets caught in sort of in this area here. We can, we have certain feelings that we feel in our stomachs, but generally when it's anything to do with the voice, it usually gets trapped up in the upper chest area and in the throat. So use it around there, and that can help to relax that area and relieve that for you.
Brilliant.
Any more questions there? Let's have a look. No. Okay. So that's
it. They change your life, literally.
Yes.
You can't even imagine. It's so easy for us to sit here and talk about it like this, but really it's it's absolutely life-changing. And I think very suited to the shifts that are happening in our world today.
Definitely.
That's a whole other topic.
Yeah. Okay, that's it. Brilliant. So we're going to close off now, and look forward to following up with any of you and speaking to any of you afterwards. If you've got any questions, then do, as I say, either let us know or go back to whoever invited you onto this call. And hopefully you'll enjoy a world of using oils in the very near future. Okay. Thank you, Carolyn. So thanks ever so much.
Bye, everyone. Thanks for being
Bye,
with us.
everyone.
Bye.
Bye.